Now, the Jaguar engineer said, yeah, we've got something very similar at our factory. We take a car off the line at random, we put a cat in it, we close the door, and we know the car's been built properly if when we come back in the morning, the cat hasn't escaped.
He's standing in the wreckage of his own heart, not metaphorically, but literally. A sudden belly flop during a holiday dive turned into a near-death warning. Doctors found 2 blocked arteries and rushed in to fit stents. At 65, Jeremy Clarkson was staring mortality in the face, and he didn't like what he saw. Now, as a new grandfather, a beer maker, a pub owner, and the reluctant king of Cotswolds farming, he's scrambling to stay alive and still have something to say. But how does a man who once mocked healthy lifestyles live in 2025? The answer lies in a patchwork of career pivots, agro-entertainment, and personal armor, and it starts with what's sprouting at Diddley Squat Farm. From motoring to muck, Clarkson's farm empire. A decade ago, Clarkson was still jetting across the world with Top Gear or the Grand Tour. Now he's stirring sheep feed under a gloomy sky. His farming show, Clarkson's Farm, is in its 4th season, premiered May 2025, and a 5th has now wrapped. Viewers everywhere love watching him bumble through arable blunders, cow chaos, and rain-soaked tractors, as long as the story is compelling enough for him to go on. The farm itself, Diddley Squat, is now estimated at £12.5 million, up from a modest start and early losses. What began as a running joke is now a genuine livelihood, growing produce, hogs, and even designing farming tools. Yet Clarkson still debates whether to film another series. He's as driven by story as he is by profit. From barley to beer, Hochstom Lager and the farmer's dog. Clarkson didn't stop at livestock. He turned part of his barley harvest into Hochstom Lager, a 4.8% brew now top-selling on Amazon, and even stocked in Waitrose. Then came the farmer's dog, a pub he opened in 2024 just off the A40 in Oxfordshire. Only British ingredients, a farm-to-fork ethos, and a cheeky cast of band patrons, like the Prime Minister, make it his version of fine dining nursery rhymes. But not everything at the pub is cozy. Fraudsters claiming food intolerances and a £27,000 cyber theft have Clarkson eyeballing a ban on anyone making such claims. Could monetization come at the cost of community? The answer remains to be seen. Health scares and a newfound tenacity. That dive into the Indian Ocean could have ended everything. Instead, it landed him in surgery and a serious attitude adjustment. In October 2024, 2 cardiac stents saved his life, but also forced him to stop mocking diets and embrace them. He's now on mono diets, meat dishes a single ingredient as his emotions, plus occasional snail caviar for cholesterol control. He's tried weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro, but it's Pilates and walking that gave him clarity and stiffness in equal measure. All this because his grandchildren, Arlo and Xanthi, are counting on him to stick around. Legacy ends, but life goes on. With the Grand Tour wrapped and W. Chump & Sons shut down, a major chapter in Clarkson's career has officially closed. After 23 years at the wheel with Hammond and May, it's time for solo driving. Now his energy goes into farming shows and periodicals, the Sunday Times, The Sun, and hosting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. But more than just staying busy, Clarkson is testing new ground. Local produce, advocacy for British farming, and a public voice willing to mock and defend equally. Still, as he wonders whether there'll be a 6th season, the real question is, how long can he keep up this jam-packed lifestyle? Net worth, reputation, and roots. Despite shifting gears, Clarkson's bank account remains robust. Estimates in 2025 places net worth between £59 million, $70 million. That wealth isn't flashy. Instead, it's tied up in farmland, pubs, and media deals. He lives quietly in Chadlington, near Chipping Norton, with Lisa Hogan. He's not flashing Bentleys, though he did buy one for his 60th, but rather investing in authenticity and legacy. And that's where it all leads. A man who mocked heritage museums now cherishes standing on one. Jeremy Clarkson's 2025 life is a swirl of stents, soil, and sardonic commentary. He survived a near-fatal heart scare and came out grouchy, healthier, and more stubborn than ever. He makes beer from his barley, opens pubs with banned VIPs, and farms with half-wit enthusiasm, and ratings love him for it. His trio has disbanded, but his solo saga is still roaring. Here's the final twist. Clarkson no longer mocks longevity. He lives for it, for farm, family, and a stage that's zeroed in on British dirt. And whether he tapes another series or writes another column, one thing is clear: he's not dying quietly. Not yet.